Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. This is editing future me. I just wanted to come here real quick and let you guys know that I started this video mid-September because it was for Hispanic Heritage Month. So I was gonna film this vlog all through October 15, which I kind of did, as you guys will see in the video. But things happened during those few weeks to the point where I moved. So this video is gonna start in the other house and then we're gonna end up back here. So just wanted to give you guys some context as to why I'm in the other house at the beginning of this video. And this video was supposed to go up before my moving vlogs and I completely forgot about this video, so I didn't wrap it up either. So I'm gonna do that right now, so I'll see you guys at the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hello guys, and welcome back to another reading vlog. It is Saturday actually. I did just wrap up my last vlog, so if you guys see me wearing the same thing, sitting in the same spot, that's why. So it is actually, today is September 18 and technically we started Hispanic Heritage Month, and I decided that I was gonna dedicate my time to reading books written by Latinx people. So that's what we're gonna do in this vlog. I have two books that I want to read for sure, and the first book I don't have with me yet. I was looking for it at Barnes and Nobles, but I couldn't find it. I was kind of in a hurry and the girl there was not very helpful, so I didn't want to ask her for it anymore. So what happened was that I had already asked her for another book and she wasn't helpful at all. So when I realized that I couldn't find the other book I was looking for, I didn't want to ask her again, because if you're not gonna help me, you're not gonna help me. So that was fine. So the book that I couldn't find, and I'm gonna just get it from Audible because I have credits in Audible, I'm gonna get The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina by Zoraida Cordova. I have to have it. It came out a couple of days ago and I am so excited for that book. But since I don't have it yet, that's not the book I'm gonna start reading. The book that I'm gonna start reading tonight or tomorrow, whatever, it is A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria, and this is the second book. Technically not the second book, but it's part like a companion to You Had Me at Hola, and these covers are just so beautiful. I love them so much. They did such an amazing job with them. I honestly can't, like, the colors and the characters, I love the characters on the covers. They're just beautiful. Like, you cannot agree with me. Like, this is beautiful. So the first one, I enjoyed it, and I think I wanted a little bit more of the telenovela feeling like that it was supposed to be like. So if I'm not wrong, we are following her cousin. So she was mentioned in the other book. So the only thing I know about this book is that her name is Michelle and his name is Gabriel, and they were best friends when they were younger, something like that. So it's kind of like a friends to lovers relationship, if I'm not wrong. So they're gonna meet again, they're gonna rekindle their whatever they had, and I'm very excited for this one. I'm gonna read this and then I'm gonna read The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina, and those are the two books I have planned. I might pick up another one, we'll see. I have enough books on my shelf that are written by Latinx writers, so I'm gonna do that. Right now I'm gonna go visit my mom because my grandma is here, so technically I'm gonna visit my grandma. You know, I'm gonna see my family, so I'm gonna go do that and I'll see you guys later. Okay guys, it is quite early. A lot of people are still sleeping, so I'm gonna try to be as quiet as I can. Hopefully my mic is on. I have this little packet that I want to hold for you guys. I am so excited. I've been wanting to get something from Future Self, from the Future Self website. If you guys don't know, this website, this brand was created by Alfie Days, and I have followed Alfie and Zoe for so long, like 10 years now probably, and I'm sure you guys know who Zoella and Alfie are, because obviously, like, I don't think YouTube would be the same if it wasn't for them, in a way, you know. So when Alfie first introduced the brand, I actually really loved the whole concept of it because it wasn't merch, and it was just I knew that it was gonna do really well. So every time he launches something, every time he has a new collection, I'm always trying to get something, and it's always sold out because everything launches at a certain time in the UK. So here in California it's like 3 a.m. when that happens, and I'm always sleeping. Like, I'm not gonna wake up at 3 in the morning just to place an order. Like, I'm always hopeful that there's gonna be something left in the morning, but it's always sold out. So I actually was able to get my hands on a pair of sweatpants and a hoodie, so it's like the whole set, and I'm so excited for it. So we're just gonna open. So here they are, and then I also got the hoodie. It's in the same wash, it's in the same blue color, so I also got it in large because I like the oversized vibe of everything. So I'm gonna see if I get this one on a medium, probably, I'm not sure. It has this plastic and it says future self, and I really like it. I really like this color. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell like anything, so that's good. So this is the inside, and that's interesting. I thought it was going to be softer. Hopefully the new collection is like the soft kind in the inside. It's going to be warm, but I don't know if I like the fuzzy things inside. Okay, I don't think I need to size down, and this is a beautiful washed up blue. I think it's a beautiful color. Alright guys, so I just got back from the gym, and I saw the neighbor has like a little community library kind of thing outside of her house, and it used to be like pretty full, and I had never like paid attention to the books that were in there because I really didn't I mean, I already have a lot of books, so I was like, if other people need them, that's fine. But as I was parking the other day, I saw a book that I wanted to go get, but I want to leave another book. So I was looking at my bookshelves, and I do have some books in mind, but I feel like I have one in particular, like, because I'm just thinking it's like for the community, kids might want to grab a book. So I have one book that I want to take, and let me get it. Okay, so the book that I'm planning to take is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and this is my second copy. I actually found this one for like $2, and I don't know why I decided that I needed another copy, because I actually have my copy. Like, I bought this completely new, and this is the one I read, so I'm gonna keep my copy, and then I'm gonna take the one that I bought for like $2, and I'm gonna take it and leave it. So let's go drop it off and grab another book. guys, it is October 13th. I didn't forget that I started this vlog in the middle of September. I actually started this vlog with the purpose of doing a vlog dedicated to Hispanic Heritage Month. So if you guys weren't aware, it's from September 15 to October 15. It is actually October 13, so I already read 2 books that I wanted to read for this vlog, and there was a 3rd book that I wanted to read, but I did move. Spoiler alert, I did move. So I moved at the beginning of October, and I thought I wasn't gonna have time to read the 3rd book that I wanted to read, but today actually I decided to start it because it is October 13th, so I have about 3 days. This vlog is actually going up on October 15th, so I have about 2 days left to read the book that I wanted to read, and then I still haven't talked about the other 2 books, so I will wrap those up tomorrow, but because I want to finish the one I have right now. I went to Barnes and Nobles today, so you guys know which book it is, but I have it here with me. And the book I'm talking about is Dominicana by Angie Cruz. I have been eyeing this book for so long. Like, I can't even count how many times I've gone into the bookstore and looked at this book, and for some reason I always ended up putting it back. Don't ask me why. I was like, I need to get it. So today I actually went on Script and it's available, so I didn't have to buy it, right? I started listening to the audiobook at work because I had downtime, and you guys, I'm like 36 pages in, and there are so many things that I had to highlight. It is such a good book so far, and I needed to run to the bookstore and get it because I have to highlight so much out of this book. 36 pages in, and I think it's gonna be such a wonderful book. I do want to see, you guys didn't see that, I do want to watch some of the author's interviews and see what the book is about. I haven't even read the synopsis of this book. I've seen the cover and it is gorgeous, and I knew I wanted to read this book during this month, and I actually thought I wasn't gonna fit it in, but here we are. This book honestly feels like I can read it in one sitting, like in one day, but because I don't have the time, I have to go to the gym right now. But after I come back, I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna highlight the stuff that I wanted to highlight, and I'm hoping to finish it by tomorrow and talk to you guys about the other 2 books that I've already read, because I still haven't done that. I will do it, but I have to go get ready to go work out, and I'll come back and read more. I mean, honestly, I would stay. I don't even want to go work out just so I can stay and read this book, but we have to go work out. It is what it is, you know. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so for this video I read 3 books. I will talk about them right now if I remember what I read, because it's been a while. So first I'm gonna start with my top favorite book from all 3 books that I read during this month, and I am so happy that I picked it up at the end, and I am so happy that I read it right away, because there was something in me that just wanted to read this book. I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know the premise of the book. I didn't know the name of the characters. I went into this book blind, and just because I had seen the cover, I had seen the book around, I just knew I wanted to read it, and that is Dominicana by Angie Cruz. This is the last book I picked up, so it is my most recent read, and I had to tab it. Script had the book, and I started it on ebook, and from the first chapter page I knew I had to have this book because I wanted to annotate it. And you guys, I've annotated so much from this book, just like from tabs and highlighting. I highlighted this book like no other before, and I just knew I had to have, I knew I had to engage with this book. The writing is so beautiful, like I can't even explain to you guys how amazing the writing is. I just fell in love with it. So we follow Anna, who's 15 years old. She's living in the Dominican Republic. It is 1965. So her mom and her father family decide that it is for her best interest, as well as the family's best interest, is for Anna to marry Juan, who is 32 years old. Like I said, Anna's 15 at the time. So she has to marry Juan, this 32-year-old man who with his brothers have like a restaurant, and they are trying to make things work as like financially wise. And he is the kind of person that travels to the United States to work and then goes back to help the family's business in the Dominican Republic, but most of the time he spends it in New York. So Anna will go to New York with him, and then when they have the money and they're able, they would bring her family to New York to work and have a better life. So that is exactly what Anna does. She doesn't want to marry this guy. She just wants to spend her time in the Dominican Republic, and she has a best friend who is also her crush, Gabriel, and it's just such a heartbreaking coming of age story where she's taken from her home to be a wife in this unknown place, and she has to do her best to care for her family, while at the same time the United States is trying to take over the Dominican Republic, and there's a war going on. So it is very political at the same time that is coming of age, learning things. And most of the quotes that I liked was from Anna's mom. Anna's mom is such a strong character, such an important character, and Anna learns so much from her. Her mom it's scary and strong, and Anna knows all of this. She recalls her mom telling her to not trust in people, to not trust friends, to not trust anyone. And she's in this place by herself, remembering all the things that her mom told her to not do or to trust someone. You guys, it's such an incredible story. Like, all the characters. Juan is such a disgusting character, and I hated him. You will hate him, but it's part of Anna's lives as well as other women's lives. It's such a beautiful woman's book story, and that's why I love women's writing, especially Latina women's writers. They can tell it's just such a good story about women and their lives, and becoming a mom, becoming a woman, becoming a wife, falling in love, betrayal, having to be a daughter at the same time as you're growing up. Like, you're a wife but you're still a daughter, and all the heartbreak that comes with all of this, and learning to not trust or to trust, to fall in love, or it's such to become a mom, a sister. It's just such an amazing story, and you guys need to read it. I'm not gonna ramble more about this book. There's so many things I want to say about it, but I also don't want to give it away. But if you guys want to pick up a really good book, pick this one up. I do want to read the rest of her books. She has other 2 stories, so I am for sure gonna pick them up. I'm gonna read them and hopefully enjoy them as much as I did this one. One of my favorite reads from the year. It is 5 stars, 10 stars, all the stars. Best book I've read this year. Like, one of the best books I've read in my life, period. I actually just bought this book for my friend because it's her birthday. Well, her birthday was 2 days ago, and I'm gonna see her tonight. So I actually bought a copy for her because she needs to read, first of all, and she needs to read a good book. So if you guys want to pick up a book, pick this one up. You won't regret it. Okay, so the other book was A Lot Like Adios by Alexis Daria. Not the second book, but this is like the sequel to You Had Me at Hola, and I want to say that I enjoyed this book a lot more. 4 stars. This was such a good story. In this book we follow Michelle and Gabriel, who were friends growing up, and then he left to LA, and then she did her own stuff, but they had a really good friendship until things happen. They grew up and things happen between them. Gabriel has to go back to New York, and he doesn't have the best relationship with his family anymore, and his family and her family are neighbors. So Gabriel and his partner are opening a gym in New York, and his friend happens to hire Michelle as a consultant, but Gabriel doesn't know this, and then he finds out who the person helping them is gonna be, and he's all shocked and surprised, and now they have to work together, they have to see each other and rekindle their friendship and whatever happened before he left to LA. Lots of family issues, lots of family reconciliations, like friendships and romance. It was such a good story. I enjoyed this one a lot more than You Had Me at Hola, to be honest. This was such a good book. I will reread this book. That's how I feel about this book. It's a book that I feel like I will reread. Michelle is one of the cousins of power, and Alexis Daria is working on the third book, so I'm excited for that one. And what I like about her stories is that she has so much diversity. Both of the characters are bi, and then we have so many nationalities like Mexican, Puerto Rican, Filipino. Like it's so diverse, so incredible. The characters are just how you want a soap opera to be like. And then there's also fanfic in this book. When they were growing up, Gabriel and Michelle both wrote like this fanfiction together, and then we get to see some of the stories that they wrote. But really enjoyed it. You guys should pick it up if you guys are thinking about it, because it's a really good book and the covers are beautiful. And the other book that I read was The Inheritance of Orquídea Divina by Sora de Cordova. This book was interesting. I had been looking forward to this book because I like Soraida's writing, and I knew this book was going to be a lot different from her previous stories, and it was. I've heard people describe this book as magical realism, but I don't think this is magical realism. This is definitely fantasy, and this book, I'm gonna give it a 3 stars. I've seen a lot of people saying that it's so magical and so amazing, and it is. There's a lot of magic in this book. That's why I think it's a fantasy story. Come on. It is full of fantasy. It is a fantasy book. I would describe it as a fantasy. So the reason why I'm giving it 3 stars is because I feel like the book starts really strong, and I feel like halfway to the book it just took a different turn, and we got introduced to more fantastic elements in the story. So at the beginning we learned that Orquídea is the grandma, and we follow a few generations of this family, and we know that things around Orquídea are happening, and they are strange, they are weird, they have magic, but the family knows this as normal, but the other people around the town don't see this as normal. They know there's something going on with them, so they stay away from them, kind of thing. And Orquídea is very reserved. She doesn't tell her grandkids or sons, daughters, what happened to her or what's going on with her. We learn this as we go throughout the story, and that's when the tone of the story begins to change, and then we find out that there's an actual source to this magic, to this power that the family has. So Orquídea turns into a tree. She doesn't die, she's not dead, she's still alive, but she turned into a tree. So now it is up to Marimar and Ray and her other cousins to figure out what happened to her and why this is happening to them, why is someone following them, until they find out what actually happened. There is a circus mentioned at the second half of the book, and that's when the fantasy comes into play. So this circus reminded me of Carnival and Stardust, because we learn where the source of the magic comes from. I feel like I'm not making sense, and that's because I don't want to say too much about it. I think it's a good book to read. I wouldn't say it was a 5 stars. I wouldn't say it was the greatest book I've read. I think it was good, and I think for me the beginning was really strong. It was the second part that felt a little different for me, and that's when I lost my interest in it. I did like the book. It was an okay book, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I do want to say that this book is by far her most distinguished writing yet. Like, she writes fantasy and she writes romance books, but this one was, the writing was really good in it. The plot, however, the second part of the plot, that's what fell for me. But other than that, all three good books by Latina writers, and that was my goal for this video, for this blog, for this month. I hope you guys get to read one of these and you guys enjoy it. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.